I think you want us to cry in this podcast.
Meet Cindy. At 19, alikuwa nauza Mtumba. 10 years later, she is a senior manager at Big Tech.
She just introduced me to a random guy saying, this is our intern and she's looking for a job. And that's how I got into tech.
But guys, this is not a career story. It is the story of a trailblazer that has carried grief that most of us could never survive.
When things are hard, you lean on the strength of the past because you don't know the future. You don't know what will happen next week. Carry your scars with courage. Don't hide them. Don't be ashamed of them. These are my scars. This is what I did. These are the mistakes I made. And this is what I did about it.
Behind her title and success is a resilience that brought me to tears.
But you see, the reality of the matter is life has its seasons. It's okay. Oh my God.
Miss it at your own cost.
Welcome, Kevin, to our pajama party. We are holding it at SHIRIKI House. I really like SHIRIKI House as a co-working space because of the lights. Guys, especially people who are constantly on laptops, you need lots of natural light. Serotonin is a happy hormone that comes from sunlight. And this place allows you to have a lot of that, and the plants. So if you are looking for a co-working space to hang out with your team and ensure everyone is happy because they have lots of serotonin, check out SHIRIKI House, link below. Come with us to the pajama party, and we have a very gorgeous girl with us today for our pajama party, Cindy. Hi. Cindy.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I want to introduce you to someone.
Okay.
Yeah. And what I want you to do is, to this person, introduce yourself and tell her who, like, where you are at now, what you're doing. Just basically big intro.
I think you want us to cry in this podcast. Oh my God, I haven't seen this picture in so long. Wow. Okay. So I'm introducing myself and then I tell her what I'm doing now.
Yes, everything. Everything.
Oh my God, I think this is 19-year-old or 20-year-old Cindy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is the 29-year-old version of you. She's so grown, emotionally mature now, I would say. Has more clarity around what she wants to do, for sure, what I want to do. So I'm now in tech. Yeah, managing partnerships, which, you know, I don't think we ever thought we would be doing that, for sure. Now I just do fashion, my own fashion. I don't do other people's fashion. And also it's not the center of my world like it used to be, but it's not a bad thing. I would say I have more confidence in what I'm doing. I'm not really trying everything just to see what sticks. I'm not doing that anymore. Yeah, I guess even going through this journey, everything that, you know, the 21-year-old, 19, I don't remember how old I was in this picture, but everything that you were doing, this girl in the picture, has definitely contributed to who I am today.
Oh.
So thank you. I'll say thank you to myself.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, that is so cute.
Where did you get that picture?
Research team.
Yeah, your team did a good job.
Thank you. Now, Cindy, you've spoken to your 19-year-old self. There's someone who's watching this who has a limiting belief on what they can do. So they see you senior partner and you've done great things beyond that.
Yeah.
And they wonder, what does it take? Like, can I really get there? I don't think it's actually for me. Most people would see such companies beyond where you work at now as impossible.
Yeah.
Juu hata hiyo yenye wana apply ile yenye iko kwa kona bado wanapata rejection. Sembuse hile.
Yeah.
So I want you to take us through a snapshot of your journey from here and take us step by step from here up until where you are.
Okay. So I grew up in a place called Zimmerman. Then I think when I was in high school when I was in high school, we moved to Nakuru. So I remember when we lived in Nakuru, there used to be a market somewhere in that city. And the people in Nakuru, no shade, but no shade. But they would always leave their best Mtumba clothes. So whenever I'd go shopping, I'd find the nicest clothes, even if I go at 2 p.m., like nobody really bought them. So I don't know why, no shade to them. So I'd buy them, and then that's how my love for fashion started. So I did the Mtumba stuff up until I think campus at some point. Then I attended an event and realized, oh, people actually are making clothes in Kenya. That's so amazing. So I started making clothes. So I did business, and doing business as a young girl, 19-year-old, you're using your pocket money that my dad sends me every week. He doesn't know I'm busy investing it into a business. You're meeting, tailors. They don't want to take you seriously. They don't really prioritize your work. And at the end of the day, you are disappointing clients. It was an amazing period of, those formation years were really good for me. But in terms of the struggles I had to go through, I feel like they made my worldview feel like everything is harder than it needs to be. So rather than feeling like you can achieve things easy, I just felt like everything is a hustle. I'm so stressed, I'm unhappy, etc. But I didn't give up. So during my last campus year, I went to be an intern at, and while I was I attended this event called the Digital Social Media Week, something like that. And while I was there, one of my colleagues I used to work with, her name is Yvonne, shout out to Yvonne. She just introduced me to a random guy saying, this is our intern and she's looking for a job. If you have opportunities, just consider her. So after a while, he actually remembered me and asked me to apply for the job. So I applied, I went and did interviews, and that's how I got into tech.
Okay.
So essentially, it wasn't something that was really planned in the sense of, I know I'm going to get into tech. I know this is what I'm going to do. These are the mentors I've spoken to. They've guided me. No, okay. I would definitely say that it wasn't something that was within my control or something that I planned.
Okay. How did you get the internship?
So the internship will actually go back to we'll go into one of the points I'm going to speak out in terms of what is really important for you to succeed, and that's relationships. I did have the privilege of my mom knew, I don't even know who she knew, but there's someone she knew who was able to put me across to get an internship. But there were many people who were there for the internship who were not recommended. They actually applied. I did send my CV and I had to meet the deadline, but I was privileged because there was someone who said, there's this girl and she's going to send in her application. Yeah.
I like that you said privilege, because a lot of people connotate having relationships as uyo ali say, you know the connotation people have.
Yeah.
And help us understand how important it is to leverage on those as privilege, because I can see you see it from a very good perspective.
Yeah, I think some of our ideas have been, and I've also fallen into that trap, where you see people around you who probably they're from rich families and they had the best of the best, and you sort of feel like that wasn't me, so that obviously makes me less than. I feel like that's not true. I feel like we can create privilege for ourselves. If you actually put yourself out there, networking with, right now, you can reach out to people on Instagram, you can reach out to them on LinkedIn, you can reach out to them anywhere. If they go to an event, you can talk to them. Obviously, you won't be able to get to certain people. Like I won't be able to get to the president right now, but if I grow and I probably reach, right now, probably who can I get to? I can get to like a head of marketing, a CEO. But eventually, if I become a head of marketing or become a CEO, getting to the president is not that hard. So essentially, start where you are. Start by reaching out to the person you want to be next. You don't have to look at, I'm definitely not ready to be a CEO right now, but eventually in 5 years I might be ready. In 10 years I will be ready. So right now, start reaching out to the people who you see yourself becoming in the next year, in the next 2 years. Start small. So if you start reaching out to your direct manager, your manager's manager, you start to learn who they are and how to get there, taking things a step at a time. As you create that privilege for yourself, the people you're meeting, remember they're also growing. So the next time your manager now might be the CEO. The next time your CEO might be the board of director or something, whatever. If you start making those steps as early as now, you'll see that the people, as you're growing, the people you know are also growing. They're stepping into the offices you're interested in. And when they're looking for other people to elevate with, they're thinking about you. They're saying, okay, no, I know this person. I think I should move up with them. I've seen this person grow. Let's move up together. Versus always just thinking, for the big dreamers, I'm just going to be CEO. Yes, you will, but you will not start at CEO. You will probably start at intern. You'll go into salesperson. Then you'll probably go into ops manager, like that. So as you're going up the ladder, you're busy building relationships. And when it comes to that aspect of relationship, I tried to, when I started feeling like this privilege is now making me resent certain people because it looks like your privilege is giving you opportunities that you're not deserving of or something like that, I had to really change how I think about relationships. Because you want to work with people. And okay, I'm a Christian. So I know there are different kind of helpers. There's a destiny connector, divine connector, men of influence, gifted men, burden bearers. So as you're building relationship with people, you need to understand where these people, this person you're building a relationship with falls. Is he a man of influence who, when he's in a room, that's a man or a woman, when they are in a room, they will speak of you highly? Is he a divine connector or a destiny connector who will say, this person is looking for a job, I'm connecting you to this person. Come and help each other out. So start thinking differently about privilege and stop thinking that this person is probably from a rich family and they'll get something before me. No. Think about it differently. I just need to find my divine connector and I will find them in the right way. I need to find my man of influence and I will find them in the right way. Whether I am from the rich family or I'm not, I will get the person who needs to help me and to speak on my behalf. So it worked out in my favor when I was starting my internship. It also worked out in my favor when I was getting the first job. But then afterwards, I've been on my own. And I think that's when, before actually thinking about it now, when I started to really think about that privilege and to resent it, I never really thought, oh, but you were helped during your internship, do you remember? Or your first job, while yes, you were just connected to the person which helped you get shortlisted for the job, but you still had to go and interview. You still had to make a really good first impression. You still had to study to prepare yourself for the interview. So while yes, there's that aspect of being helped of men, also be worthy of the help of men. Let me not recommend you for a job, then you go and steal. Or you go and do something crazy and now I'm embarrassed. Now I look stupid. Like if I recommend someone for a job or recommend someone for something, you want there to be honor. You want to honor the person who recommended you so that next time we have something, we'll think about so-and-so because they recommended such a great individual for us. You also want to be worthy of other people's recommendations. Yeah.
The 4 people is very powerful. We need to put like descriptions on all the 4. You mentioned that relationships. Yes, you're very, very keen on relationships. Talk to the person who is an introvert. I'm not sure how to build relationships. There is also an element of ego where I don't want to seem like I'm begging Help us understand how do I get out of my shell with
Yeah.
all of those limitations.
Wow. Okay, maybe to address that aspect of ego first. Oh, girl, you're gonna have to swallow that ego. I don't know what you're gonna do with it. Stab it or something. Get rid of it, because the truth of the matter is there will always be someone doing better than you at whatever level of life you're at. Whether it's physically how you look, your education, your finances, there will always be someone better than you. So if you constantly put your ego first, where you think you are better or you think you should be better than someone else, that already disqualifies you from learning. So one thing that I have to say, or one experience that I had that really changed my life, was attending this training from an organization called USUD.
Okay.
And I was just growing. I was actually doing my internship and also attending that training. And I remember at that time, those were my formative years. And during that time, I was doing everything. I wanted to do any and everything, whatever sticks is what I'll go with. And it wasn't the best idea. So I remember one of the concepts they really, really engraved into us was intentionality. Being intentional with everything that you do and not just doing half-assing things. Like you're doing things for the sake of doing them. And even when it comes to relationships, fine, I understand there are limitations around your personality. Maybe you're shy, or you feel judged, or I've had this thing that I didn't know I had, but you fear looking stupid, especially if you're doing a business. You fear that you're going to look stupid. Or even you're egotist, or unasumbua, someone will be like unasumbua. But I can guarantee you, there's no one who's ever reached out to me to ask for advice and I've been in my head like, oh, Nanisumbua, what do you want now? Please go away. You know. And if we try and approach things with the idea or just the thinking or the perception that this person has the best intentions at heart, then you step away from that thing of I look stupid, or I'm feeling insecure, I'm feeling shy. And basically how you can structure your relationship building is have a template. This is my template. This is how I introduce myself. This is my objective. And then you can add a part where you say why you want to talk to a person. I've seen your journey. I appreciate how far you've come. I recognize the hard work that you've put in, and I feel there's a lot for me to learn from you. So I would like to schedule some time with you, even if it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I'll be very grateful. You know, something that you can pop in on LinkedIn and you say every Wednesday afternoon, it's my time to reach out to different contacts. And you can actually challenge yourself to say, I should meet at least 2 people every month. 2 people every month. And I used to do that when I was job hunting.
Oh, wow.
I'll meet at least 2 people every month, people in the US, in Canada, just interact with them. They think differently. You might not get a job in the US or in Canada, but it exposes your worldview. It helps you change how you think about things. And actually it makes you realize that they're not so different from you.
Yes.
Like no one has things figured out. They're not so different from you. Whatever they're doing is not unachievable. You can actually get there if you take the right steps. And building relationships is one of them. So you have to be intentional. At this point, the worst thing you wouldn't want to do for yourself is say, I never got there because I was shy. Shyness is something that you can, like, you're holding me back, okay? You're holding me back, shyness. You have helped me when I was in high school, but I'm no longer in high school. Thank you for your support. It's time for me too. And I remember my sister told me this thing one time, and she said, sometimes your feelings need to catch up later. Just go and act. Let your feelings, your shyness, your sadness, let it catch up when you've already made progress. Because if you allow your emotions and those limiting ideas to keep you down, you'll stay down forever. So just build a structure. Even in your relationship building, it's not going to be by chance that, oops, I bumped into the Centum CEO. Wow, when will that ever happen?
Yes.
It might not happen. So you have to start being very, very intentional. Set up time. If you have a calendar, lock it in your calendar. On Wednesday, I usually go on LinkedIn. I stalk different people in the industry I want to be, and I reach out to them. If you send a message to 10 and 2 bite and say, fine, I can have a session with you 30 minutes next week, make sure you go into that meeting with at least 5 questions. You're ready. This is what I want to get out of this meeting. This is the conversation I want to have. Because if I'm coming to meet with you as a mentor, okay, you're waiting for me to lead the conversation. What do you want? What do you want to talk about? So it's for you to come and tell me, these are my areas where I'm struggling. This is where I need support. And what do you think I can do about this and this and that? So you come in very intentional with the meetings. Your message is intentional from the beginning. And there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very curious. With the meetings you used to have, the 2 meetings a month, what was your intention? Is it, I need to get a job from these people, or I just need to make connections? What was your intention?
I think my intention was more to know what I want to do. So I used to reach out to different people in different industries, people in marketing, people in tech, data. I reached out to people in industries I was interested in, sales. And I really just wanted to know what their day-to-day looks like and if that would be interesting to me.
Interesting.
So rather than, want them to, give me a recommendation, there's some people who I asked to give me a recommendation, but rather than do that, I wanted to more understand what they really do and how they became who they are. And it helped me because eventually I was like, I don't think I want to do the coding stuff and the engineering. I think that's not fun. I'm sorry. Sorry, techies. No offense. But for me, it just felt like, I don't want to do that. I want to be in the industry. I want to be in the tech industry. I want to understand how things work, but I don't want to be the actual doer of the coding and stuff. Yeah.
And so I really want to get how you used to phrase it, because someone there is like, "Ata mimi basi nitaanza next month."
Yeah.
So you're basically telling them, "Hey, my name is XYZ. I want to get to know your day-to-day. Help me understand how you would phrase it."
Yeah. So I used to say, I'd first stalk them on LinkedIn, maybe just look at what they're interested in. Okay, that's called, what is it called? Is it called social selling? I think so.
Okay.
Where you actually go and find out and get the profile of who you want to reach out to. Don't reach out to them blindly and don't have a blanket or a template that you share with everyone. You need to at least know who you want to reach out to. So say, for instance, I want to reach out to Sylvia Mulinge, who's the CEO of MTN Uganda. So say, for instance, I want to reach out to her. So I'll first just check on her profile, see what she does and see what she likes. But then, aside from her she likes to hike or she likes to spend time with her family. Aside from that, I won't bring that up because that's personal. I'll just say, "Hi, Sylvia. My name is Cindy. I've been following your journey and I really celebrate everything that you do and the things you're interested in. As I'm mapping out my journey, you are one of the people I would be interested in being like or knowing. This is what I want to do. I am in this industry and I want to grow in these ways. Would you be open to have a conversation with me? Even a 20-minute talk, a 20-minute meeting would be helpful. Let me know what works for you." So you have to be specific around, this is what I've seen in you that I like, and this is how I would like to tap into that. And one thing many people don't realize is that, okay, this is going off topic, but a lot of times when we see something good in someone, rather than celebrate it, we opt to be jealous or to try and hate on it. And that's not cute, to be very honest. If you see something good in someone, celebrate it. Because if you celebrate it, then it's attracted to you as well. So if you celebrate that thing and you acknowledge and actually tell them that's really good, or you have really nice specs, rather than be like, you have nice specs, or, I don't know, the first instinct
to chaput or specs.
Like trying to shade them. No, don't do that. Fight your instinct and say your specs are so nice. So if you see someone whose journey you appreciate, you love, celebrate them. this is so cool. You're doing such a good job. I celebrate you. I would love to learn from you. My name is Cindy, and this is what I want to do. Would you be open to a talk? A 20-minute meeting, and if they say yes, the worst you can get is a no or a no response, and then you move on to the next person. So that's why you don't want to just reach out to one person. You want to cast your net wide, so that if you reach out to 5, maybe 2 respond, and then you can schedule meetings. But guaranteed, people love to help, and people love to talk about their journeys. People are not very selfish with sharing their experiences. So if you reach out to them in the right way, don't be entitled. You're not entitled to anyone's time. I don't have to meet with you. I'm sorry. It's the truth. If I want to meet with you, I will, but I don't have to. So if I do, make sure that you don't waste the person's time, get the most out of that time, and be grateful. Tell them thank you. Thank you for setting up this time. This has been so helpful to me. And if eventually whatever they did for you helps you, go back to them and tell them, from our conversation, this is what I did, and look at where I am now. Thank you for your help. So yeah, basically honor the people who help you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you're at and someone has reached out to you. There's this job. Take us through the journey after you've gotten it.
So essentially, I just got an introduction, and then I actually didn't know about that company. So I'm glad I got the introduction. Then afterwards they were hiring, so I applied for the role. And I remember that time I was at home. I was doing nothing. At the time we had 2 dogs. So my work was to wake up, clean for the dogs, feed the dogs, just stay in the house and do nothing almost all day. So when I got invited for the job interview, I studied like I was studying for KCSE. I researched that organization. I researched all the tools they have, the features they have. I Googled the person who'll be interviewing me. I feel like I knew everything about him. I did a lot of studying to prepare for that interview. At the time, I was applying for very many jobs while also praying. I was doing a lot of prayer to see where should I be going next. And I remember one day I'd taken the dogs for a walk, and I just came home and I was just telling God, I am so tired of this routine of taking dogs for a walk and then coming home and doing nothing. And that day, that's the day I got the phone call that I got the job. And out of curiosity, I remember the manager who hired me would always tell me, I'd ask him, like, why did you hire me? And he'd tell me, out of the thousands of people who applied, I was the only person who had actually done a lot of research about the organization. So it's really important to know the organization, at least that you are applying to, in depth, know something unique about them, not the basics of, they're in tech or they're in software engineering or whatever. That's too basic. You want to go in depth. You want them to know that you have actually taken your time. Because at the end of the day, as an interviewer, actually something I learned while I was learning how to interview, I want you to be successful. Remember, I don't want you to waste my time.
Period.
Like, let's be very frank. Let's be honest. I have my deliverables. I'm setting aside 30 minutes. I'm doing 20 interviews. I come into the interview with you. You're not ready. You are scared. You are nervous. Fair. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be nervous. I remember my manager asking me, are you nervous? Don't be nervous. It's okay. It's okay. You want this job, right? I need you to show me that you want the job. And I will be so happy if you show me that you want the job, because then I'm like, I've found my person. And in a team, if you find someone who is excited about the job or who really wants the job, you're also excited to work with them because you can be successful with them. But if you come, you were not ready for the interview, if you're in a matatu, or you're not even fully dressed, if you're having a bad day, I understand, but you can probably write an email and request, hey, sorry, I'm having a bad day today. Oh no, okay, don't say I'm having a bad day. But hi, sorry, can we please reschedule? I had an emergency, whatever. And then choose the day when you know you're going to be upbeat, your best self, go as your best self. Because as an interviewer, that's something I learned when I was doing my research at the time, because I had applied for so many jobs. They want you to succeed. They don't get on the call and they're like, "Ooh, you tukutaki." No, they're like, "Tell me."
We need to get the person.
Yeah, we need to get the person. And the faster we get the person, I save my time, we can get the work that needs to be done. So I always would go into meetings feeling like even the person who's listening to me is also rooting for me, and it would make it easier to like give my best, because I know if I give my best, I'm also not wasting their time. They're also happy.
Yeah. I really like that perspective, that the person is also rooting for you. It creates like an abundance mindset as opposed to, guy, I can't hope you get a job. You know? I want you to speak to the person who's also at home. Let's name them Jack. They're at home. They've been at home longer than they would like to. They're also not doing anything. They're applying for jobs like constantly. How can you encourage them? Because it feels like this situation is permanent. Sasa mimi ni wale jobless youth.
I mean, I understand why that would be so frustrating and scary at the time, because like just remembering where I was at the time, it feels like the decisions I'm making will like determine my entire future. You know, I have to make the right decisions now. To be very honest, as I think I've probably shared in my story, there was some bit of it that was more chance, and I don't want to really leave it fully to chance. I will just say it was God-led. Even before I started praying, I felt that there are certain decisions that were made for me that were beyond me, that I wasn't as excellent as I thought I was, in the sense of even entering the tech space. I wouldn't say I made that decision for myself. Okay, maybe let me go back a step. I would say the decision, the option was brought to me, and then I chose it, and then I worked towards it. But before, it wasn't something that I'd thought about. So I will definitely encourage Jack to pray. It's not easy, but pray. There are certain things you can't control, and I would say first start with prayer. The second one now are the things you can control. For instance, how you show up, how you communicate, the way you present yourself. If there's a way you can improve your CV, improve it. Your cover letter, make it, amazing. Relationship building, build the relationships you need to. Put yourself out there. If it's putting out LinkedIn articles around what you do, do it. Whatever you can do that is within your control, do that. And then whatever you cannot do that is outside of your control, release it in prayer. Just say, God, I release it. Wherever you will position me, I trust you will position me there. I submit my journey to you. Have your way. But this is what I am doing. I am studying, I am applying with a good CV, not errors on your CV. CV is all messed up. Your CV is nice, it's well outlined. You understand what needs to be done. Your CV is your first, it's what makes the first impression to the person who's getting to know you. If your CV is already messed up, that's it. On to the next. So you want your CV to be good, your cover letter, etc. Whatever is within your control, you're doing it. But whatever is not within your control, you're submitting it in prayer.
Oh, I really like that. Submitting your journey. Because a lot of times we feel like we must control everything. Everything is now, it's just us. And it feels truly burdensome. So that is really beautiful. Thank you. So now you got to the new job. Take us through how you got to the next step, where you're like, okay, I think my life has changed here. What is that season that you're like, okay, this is the tipping point?
Okay. Well, I was very green in that job. So I had people already in the organization who are really helping me understand what my role actually looks like. So also being teachable was very important to me. Rather than going in with the attitude of, I know how things should be done, I got the job anyway. No, I was more open to learning from the people who are around me. And they really helped me a lot. So that aspect of learning from other people was key. As I continued to sharpen my skills, build relationships, I think one other thing that really helped me was being proactive and being committed. You know, when you get into a position where you don't feel that you deserve to be in, you work extra harder. You know, like,
Unajituma.
unajituma, nilijituma. And I would really, really encourage every young person to do that. Like, I know you're excellent. I know you got A's. I know you're the best person for the job. 100% they also saw it. But if you come in with the idea of, or the perception was nimefika sasa, I have arrived. Nimepata the job, I can relax. Do not be complacent. The same oomph, the same enthusiasm you showed in the interview, keep it up. Keep it up. Be creative, be proactive, come up with ideas, be curious. Like, how can we do this better? This is a suggestion. What can I do? What do you do? How come you always hit your targets? How do you get there? How do you build relationships? And it's good to, chew the meat, spit the bones. If things don't align with your values, don't take them. Now you've absorbed any and every advice you've been given. No, you also have to be like, okay, does this align with my values? This doesn't. Is this who I want to be? This is not who I want to be, but this is good advice. So be observant, be curious, be proactive. Like, be the person your manager can rely on. The person your manager knows, this person will get it done. If I tell them to do it, they will get it done. If they don't know how to, if they haven't done it well, it's likely because they don't know how to do it. Let me guide them. It's not they didn't do it well because they don't care. You know, like, be proactive, show up, give your best in whatever you're doing, especially in those early career years. Those are you're building a foundation of your reputation, even your skills, because the more you put yourself out there, the more you get to learn. So that's really what I did. Eventually, when I started to feel I'm ready for the next move, I really didn't know where to go, what was going to be my next move. And that's where now that aspect of prayer came in again, because I was doing a lot of prayer before I got the job. 2 years in, it's COVID. I've learned a lot from this business. I'm ready to make my next move. I get back into prayer now, trying to understand what's the next move I should take.
Interesting. At this point, you're in the digital space. What are you doing exactly?
I was a Twitter client partner. So basically helping brands harness the power of Twitter, like use Twitter for marketing. So basically that's what I was doing. I was working with companies in East and West Africa, mostly in Kenya, Ghana, and Nigeria.
Okay. Is that different from social media management?
Very different, I would say. Because, well, yes, I was helping these companies develop strategies, but specific to Twitter, I wasn't managing it for them. So they had an agency. So I'm like operating as a consultant to the agency or to the brand. So just helping them understand what's the value of Twitter, now X, what's the value of Twitter, how do you get the most out of the platform, what are the audiences you'll be reaching out to, what are the best features to use, what's the budget you can leverage, etc. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you weren't necessarily doing the
actual work.
Okay, just the strategy around it. And this you learned on the job?
I would say I learned a lot while I was preparing for the interview. There was a lot of study that I had to do because I'd already had social media skills. I knew how social media worked, but I feel like I also needed to learn a lot around sales, how to sell and how to develop strategy. So that I had to do before the interview. So that's why I was doing a lot of studying, but now executing was now on the job.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did a poll recently in a group I'm in, and a lot of the people said they are very challenged with strategy development. So for this person who's watching, anashanga strategy ni nini? Like, what does that actually mean? Yeah, help me understand. And if you have any tips around how to become a better strategic thinker.
Wow, okay, that's an interesting question in terms of strategy. Essentially, we would have playbooks.
Okay.
And based on what has previously worked. So for instance, we would guide on aspects such as if as a brand you want to launch or you want to connect. So launch is if you're launching a new brand or a new feature or a new product. If you want to connect, it's probably if you want to tap into the existing conversations. There are different strategies for that. When it comes to strategy building, you can actually learn from other companies. So what has worked before? Do a lot of reading. There are different podcasts you can listen to or different articles that you can read around what business strategies worked and what didn't and what was the output, etc. So put yourself out there, read and learn. So strategies are developed based on, the objectives that you want to achieve. So you need to understand what's the end goal and how do I get there? Basically, that's it. What's the end goal and what is needed to get there? That's how you develop your strategy. And essentially, if you have a strategy around what you want to achieve. So for instance, we're talking about building relationships. What is your strategy around that? In business, it's almost the same thing. What is the end goal? What do you want to see? Start from the end and then work backwards. Then you can figure out how do I bring in different aspects, and that's essentially how you build a strategy. So for instance, if a brand tells us we want app downloads, right?
Okay.
So if you want app downloads, what's your strategy around app downloads? It's going to be one, you have to create awareness around your product, help people know what your product does, then create some form of engagement with your audience and your specific target audience, and then let's ask them to convert. And maybe we can incentivize them with a discount or something to get them to convert and download your app. So that's the strategy basically to getting people to convert. So when it comes to building different strategies, you can actually educate yourself around that. There are specific roles even in large tech organizations that are strategy led, and they need people who have general or deep understanding of how strategies are built. So you can actually educate yourself on that field.
Okay. Is there a specific course that you think really helped with your strategic thinking, or
I think overall understanding the industries I was in, like even though I was in tech, I was also in marketing. So understanding marketing helped me develop strategies around marketing. Understanding partnerships and how to manage partnerships helped me build strategies around marketing. Things such as project management can also help you understand strategies. Business like MBAs, etc., will also help you understand different strategies for successful businesses.
Okay. So now we are thinking of transitioning. We've done this management, the strategy. We're thinking of transitioning. We're not sure where we want to go.
Yeah.
And you said you went into prayer. At this point, did you resign, or you were just like, let me stick it out and keep praying?
So actually, I stuck it out. For almost a year, I was applying for jobs. I have a document that I have right now. I used to track all the jobs I'm applying for, the link, the job description, and the responses I'd get. Most I didn't get responses to. For those I got, they were mainly rejections. To be honest, I applied for almost 300 jobs. And I remember at the time, as I was praying, I was like, God was telling me, I want you to go into tech now. So now the tech aspect was coming in strong, because while yes, I was already in tech, but it felt like now I'm being pushed now further, stay in tech, and I want you to target big organizations in tech. And I remember just being like, okay, big organizations in tech, Facebook, Instagram, those are the ones I knew, So those are the organizations I used to apply to.
Really?
I'd apply and apply. Rejection. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to stick it through. At the end of the day, this is not really my idea. I'm just following a voice that's speaking to me. You know how crazy that sounds? Like, so you're busy applying for jobs because a voice told you that you should be in tech, and you're applying for tech, and now you've applied for 300 jobs and all of them have been rejected, and it's been 1 year and you haven't even gotten an interview. Wow. Keep going. If you tell someone, you'll just look crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I didn't give up at the time. Actually, don't even remember questioning. I probably had my moments, but I don't remember questioning what I wanted. I had agreed with that suggestion from God, and I was like, happy, let's proceed. So I remember in December, it was during the holiday season, I applied for the job, and I just always kept hearing in my heart. And in January, I started doing the interview. I prepared for the interview. I didn't know anyone who worked at the company. I prepared. I did my usual sticky notes, study, research, learn everything you can about the organization and everything you can about the role. Whether you know someone at the company or not, I didn't at the time. I did the interviews and I got the job. So essentially, I would say, for those people who think they can never, make it into such an organization, or, they're too, it's too big, or it's beyond me, or it just won't be me. I was also there. I didn't think it was me. Even when I was getting that suggestion, I was just like, really? Me?
Rolls eyes.
Rolls eyes. Like, I'm looking at the people who moved to different countries to work for those organizations, and they feel so far-fetched and different from me. And I was just like, I don't know if it's going to be me, but you know what? I'm just going to try. So at the end of the day, I'd say, put yourself out there and give it your best. So that's really what I did, and ended up getting the role.
Wow, okay. Now I have some practical questions. During this 1 year, your God's voice, some may call it, I would say, does it speak as the Holy Spirit's like intuition, almost like something is nudging you?
Yeah, it's a very strong nudge. Something like something you feel like you can't even escape.
Yeah.
Yeah, it insists.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, it's a very persistent, for me it was. And I think it happens differently for everyone, to be honest.
Okay.
But for me, it was so, I felt like not only is it a voice, but it's like an energy, like that would even make feel like my hairs are like,
Standing.
yeah, like they're standing. Like, I feel like if I don't do it, like, I won't be okay. You just feel like a strong leading to do something, even though it's not very clear what the outcome will be.
Okay. Now, during that time, were you also applying to different roles? Because I can imagine people who also have a voice telling them something, but they're also seeing just in case, like kind of doing backup plans, instead of like, fully following the voice. At the time, were you also applying to like, non-big tech companies just because of the doubt?
Yeah, I actually remember I did an interview for a PR firm.
Oh, wow.
But I didn't get it. So to be very honest, yes, there was that part of me that was like, let me just try this just in case. Just in case I'm delusional, I'm hearing my own things, let me just do this. But I would say for the most part, I did stick on, I stood the course, and I was like, this is what I'm doing, and that's what I'm going to pursue. It was difficult because I was applying for very many international jobs, and it was so heartbreaking to always get rejected, because essentially that's what I thought I was supposed to be doing, but eventually I was led in the right direction. So I would say, if you have the instruction and it's clear and you know what you want to do, stand by that and keep going. Don't give up on the journey. But also maybe have conversations with different people. Of course, there are people who can speak into you and discourage you from your dream, and you don't want to listen to the naysayers all the time. But it's also important, I'm a realist, it's also important to somewhat listen to what people have to say, especially people who are in that industry, because you can get to learn a lot. If you focus on this idea that you have, you can mislead yourself as well. So you want to put together what you feel with evidence, with the word of God, but also with evidence of learning from other people. How did they get there? try and get some practical skills to achieve what you're looking to do. Don't just wait on the supernatural, because you won't just land. You will have to prepare yourself. So as you're doing that, make sure that you're getting all the knowledge that you need to have to be successful in what it is you want to do.
Okay. So you said you're applying for international jobs. Were they jobs like located in Kenya or like Sydney? You know, because there's someone who's like, I want to do that, exactly that. So take me through it. Was it like jobs in Kenya or hiring? Because I know big corporations, I would say they don't often have vacancies, and when they do, like 100 people applied instantly.
Very many people,
So how was that process for you?
I was mainly applying to jobs in Europe. Those are the ones I saw a lot, especially in partner management and account management.
So EMEA.
Yes,
Okay.
mainly EMEA, South Africa, Europe, Amsterdam, Ireland, etc. Sorry, what was the question again?
Okay, that was the question. If you're applying to jobs that are hiring here or abroad.
Yeah, I was mainly looking for account management jobs in international companies.
Okay.
So yeah, mainly account management jobs in international companies. Yeah.
So at this point, you're clear, this is the path I want to take. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you finally land the job. Someone would see, oh my God, she's jumped from, like, what a smooth journey. Jumped from, digital marketing to senior partner. It feels like, wow, so smooth. And at Young Techies, we really want to focus on seeing what was behind the curtains, what were the struggles that you've gone through up until this point.
Yeah.
Maybe you can take us through a difficult season that challenged you, challenged your faith, and how you overcame that.
Yeah. Difficult seasons were there. I feel like I am starting to, and not to like discourage the young techies.
It's okay.
But I feel like I had this idea that in life or being happy is when you get to a place where there are no problems, there are no challenges, you apply the jobs and you just get the interview. Woo!
Oh my God.
You ask for the raise and it's, yes, we approved, check sign here.
Of course, yeah.
Nothing, there are no issues at all. And I really had to change my perspective on life as a whole, especially during those difficult moments. So one of the most challenging seasons of my entire life was, so in the last 2 jobs I've had, I lost both my parents. So the first one, as a Twitter client partner, I lost my dad, and that was really hard for me. Last year, I lost my mom. And particularly for my mom, it was so hard because not only she had a long, what should I call, like a long-term sickness. It had been there for almost a year, and she was bedridden, and so I had to manage work while I'm also, my sister and I are taking care of her financially, but I'm taking care of her physically or at home because my sister was away. And it was so hard because you have a very demanding job, very demanding partners, but you also have to show up at home. So you have to learn how to show up even when you do not want to. Even when life, for real, there's a reason to give up. Like, honestly, what you're going through, it's okay if you give up, It's okay if you say, I'm not coming into work today. It's okay if you say, I'm not responding to your call or your email and I don't really care what happens, Like, it's okay, we will understand you because it's a difficult time. But the reality of the matter is that sometimes we will not understand you. And I took that as an opportunity to stretch myself, to build more capacity to handle hard things. And if you think about the positions you're interested in the future, for instance, being a CEO or head of something, you have to have capacity to handle difficult things. You can't be weak. There's a verse in the Bible that says, if you faint in the day of trouble, your strength is small. So if when you're going through these difficult things and you find yourself fainting, sometimes you'll faint, sometimes you'll need a break, you'll need a moment, you'll need to be by yourself, sometimes you'll cry. That's fine. But if you truly faint and give up, your strength was small. And so for me, that was a time for me to build my strength and my capacity. And I would say those moments were really hard. 100%. They made me feel like, what is really, how is this life worth living at all? Like, felt like everything was crashing. My whole world was falling apart, and it was so difficult for me. But I had to now anchor myself on the things that I knew. Because when you're going through those moments, okay, I think of life in seasons. So there are seasons where things are good, relax, that's the time to build your strength. That's the time to build your confidence. That's not the time to just enjoy life's good things. Sure. That's the time to plant the good seeds in your life. Make sure you have the best thoughts about yourself. Make sure you have the best beliefs about yourself. You know you're good enough. You know you are worthy, etc. You know life is good. You have understanding that where you're going is going to be excellent. You will have good things that are coming your way. It's the time to fill yourself with the best. Then when things are hard, you lean on the strength of the past. Because you don't know the future. You don't know what will happen next week. So at the moment, things are hard. So you have to lean on the testimonies of the past. So for me, I had to lean on the things that I saw God do for me in the past. I saw him do this. I've experienced this with him. He has been faithful for me in this way. I've seen my family do this. I've overcome this, so I will also overcome this challenge. I've gone through that and I survived. I will also survive this. So essentially during those difficult times, I had to lean on the strength of the past, and or on the strength that I built when I was doing okay, and so I was able to be sustained in those moments. Yeah,
that is very beautiful. That was probably also for me, because I like that I've never discussed faith on Young Techies, so thank you for bringing this up, and I'd like to lean into that more. For the person, because I've also taken care of a sick parent, and it significantly impacted my faith. For someone who's also in a similar situation, because I know of a couple of people who are, and they watch this, how did you keep your faith? How did you still believe that, God is a healer, and you're like, rolls eyes, because you can get quite cynical when things are difficult, especially around your relationship with God. So how did you?
Well, to be very honest, I wouldn't say I was so good at that. Like, I'm so good at my relationship with God. No, I struggle like everyone else. But I remember listening to this preaching, right? So my mom died on 2nd of July. That Sunday, the preaching that was released by the pastor I follow, his name is Apostle Joshua Salman, it was talking about beauty for ashes. That was the title. And I remember listening to him and him saying, one of the biggest message I took out of that is, don't take offense towards God. Don't get offended by God, because the reality of God is God loves you. He loves us with an unconditional, unending love. That will never change. But you see, the reality of the matter is life has its seasons.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Oh my God.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
It's okay.
Thank you.
It's okay. Do you need a moment?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I've always been wanting to. Do you watch The Diary of a CEO?
Yeah.
He always makes his guests cry, and I'm like, I can't wait to make my guests cry. And now it's the opposite.
No, it's all good.
Okay. Yeah, we can continue.
Yeah. So, honestly, I feel like it was the grace of God. I can't really, and that's why if I come here to talk about my journey, and then I'm like, how, I built relationships and I studied, I prepared for the interviews, I would be lying. And it would be such a shame to come and tell a story here like I positioned myself where I am. I didn't. I know for a fact that I was helped by God, and I can never it would be such a lie if I came here and said, Cindy, I did it self-made. Look at all my studying, what it's done for me. It really didn't. It was a lot of God helping me. Even the discipline of studying or whatever, it was Him. But to go back to your question, I tried my best to, remember I told you that I leaned on the experiences of the past. So there are certain issues or experiences that I had, for instance, when my dad passed away. When I was angry with God, I rebelled, I did all those things. I was like, I'm gonna live my life. You didn't tell me that my dad was going to die. And there was a lot of anger in me and a lot of struggles. And eventually I started to get back to just understanding His love and recognizing that the reality of the matter is that life has its challenges. Everybody goes through challenges. Christians, non-Christians, Muslims, everybody goes through the difficult things that happen in life. The only benefit that I would say there's, if you have in Christianity, or for me, I believe I have, is that I have a friend to help me through it. I have a comforter. You know, God is actually our comforter. I have someone who, there's moments when I've actually gone to cry in prayer and left there laughing, happy, peaceful, and the problem has not been solved. The problem is still there. My mom is still sick, but I'm going to work laughing with my colleagues and nobody really knows what's actually going on. So it was a lot of grace from God, but also a lot of acceptance that there are things I won't be able to control. While I love this person and I want to take away their pain, the best I can do is pray, the best I can do is provide, the best I can do is show up. But in terms of now taking the pain away from them, it's not up to me. But also, I tried my best, and I know this is so hard for very logical and very technical people. I tried not to question. I tried. Because even if I question, I won't get answers. Yes. I'll only be torturing myself. So, for instance, my partner usually asks me questions about God. So where did God come from? And I'm just like, I don't know. Look here. No, in fact, those are questions I've never asked. And it's just because I lean more on my experience with Him. And I trust that when He's ready to give me certain answers, He will. But there are certain questions, if you ask Him, He'll give you. So basically, I really challenged myself to not question God in those moments because I knew where my strength was coming from. I tried not to be offended by Him. Some days I was like, by day this feels like it's your fault. Yeah. You didn't help me. But then in those moments, He would actually show me snippets of how He showed up. How things could have been worse, but they were not worse because He was there. How I could have broken down. I could have lost myself. I could have forgotten my journey completely because of everything that I was going through. I could have, probably broken everything else that was good. Because sometimes when things are bad at home, you find you show up at work worse. Yes. You're not doing your best. Yes. Or when things are not good at work, you're at home angry. They always, intertwine. Yeah. But for some reason, He helped me so much to compartmentalize and separate things, where if things are not happy here, you don't have to carry that anger somewhere else. You can handle it with grace, and he really helped me. So He would actually show me snippets of how He showed up, and I'd end up grateful. Imagine, I'm pissed, I'm sad, I'm heartbroken, and then I'm ending up grateful. That's not right. Yeah, it just doesn't sound logical. But in those moments, that's what I experienced. And I'd have to say, it has really helped me to stay in my Christian journey and to stay grateful in terms of who I've become eventually. Even those difficult experiences, like losing your parent, that's it. You don't have another parent to lose. Like both my parents are gone now. So it's all an aspect. It's all now looking at my life and saying, how do I make them proud? And how do I make God proud without carrying the resentment and the anger of having lost them, because they're already gone. So, and they're now in a better place. So at least I believe they're in a better place. So, without going round and round and round.
Okay. Yeah. You said you compartmentalized. How was that possible? Because I am just finding it very hard to like see it. How is it possible that you would still be able to show up at work? Did you ask for support? Because I do know friends who are taking care of ill parents and they're maybe struggling at work. What is it that helped you? Okay, work time.
Yeah. In terms of the practical things I did, one, I was doing therapy.
Through it?
Yes,
Oh,
through it.
okay.
So I would like out all my frustration to my therapist and like tell her everything that I'm feeling. Prayer was another. I have a very supportive and loving sister. My sister and I are very close. So I would really lean on her. And we would do things together. Even though she was away, she was living in a different country, I did feel her support strongly. Even though I was doing a lot of the things that needed to be done physically, I did feel a lot of her support. I think when it comes to taking care of sick parents or anyone who is unwell, one thing that I learned from my therapist is that you can easily forget yourself when you're caregiving. And she used to warn me and tell me all the time, sometimes caregivers can get more sick than the person they're taking care of. So you have to be so intentional where if you're feeling overwhelmed, there are days when I would feel so overwhelmed because of what was going on with my mom that I would need to leave her. And it wasn't, I don't care about how you're feeling, but if I stay here, I will break down. So I needed to go, break down somewhere else, cry, get angry, shout, scream, pray, then come back now. Okay, I can handle this again. So if you need like opportunities to go for a walk, I used to go for a walk at Karura every week or walk around the neighborhood. So if you need to go for a walk, if you need to journal, if you need just a moment with your friends, to be very honest, work for me was a distraction. And going to work, because of how we are with our colleagues, we laugh, we make jokes, it was a good opportunity for me to forget. Even though, yes, it's a high pressure environment, it was also a good opportunity for me to think that life is normal. When I'm in the office, life is normal, life is good, I'm working, normal problems, let me solve them. I'm in the bubble. Then when I go home, it's like, okay, wait, life is not normal. And I think I was so much in the survival mode that when I came out, I remember finally I'm exhaling. There's time to rest. Okay, finally there's time to go, try a new sport. Now my Saturdays are free. And in the beginning, it felt so hard because it felt like, so now your Saturdays are free because your mom is gone. So guilt. Now you have time to go hang out with friends because your mom is gone. And it was now like a part of me was trying to resent the rest. But because you've been so used to chaos. Surviving and the chaos, and it says I'm doing this, that. Like when it's time to rest, you're resenting yourself for that. And I had to really step out of that. So I'd say embrace the seasons as they are. It's not going to be forever. And I know it's hard and I'm sorry. And I'm sorry that we go through these things. But I would say if you're in this battle, fight it with courage and get out of it strong. Do not let the battle take you out and do not lose yourself. That's what I kept telling myself. I'm not losing myself in this battle. I'm not going to come out of this place weak, broken, resentful, and bitter. I'm not going to allow those things. This has happened to me. I don't have any control, but I will come out of it better. And I'll come out of it stronger. And whatever the story it will be for my good. I'm not going to let it make me an ugly person or an angry person at the same time. So these are our battles. We have to fight them with courage and carry your scars with courage. Don't hide them. Don't be ashamed of them. Don't be ashamed of your scars. These are my scars. This is what I did. These are the mistakes I made, the foolish decisions I made, or this is what was brought to me. I didn't bring it upon myself, but this is what was brought, and this is what I did about it. And look at me now. I'm strong. I'm better. I'm healing. I'm not perfect, but I'm going to get there. You know, like that's going to be your attitude. It's never a forever thing. It's never a forever thing. Like, it might be 5 years, but it's never going to be like that for the rest of your life. And you need to tell yourself that. Because if you know one day it will change, you live waiting for that day. And you make decisions preparing for that day. Yeah.
I like that a lot. I see two thought processes here. How you intentionally show up. Like, I must show up this positively for me to survive through this season, which is something I actually resonate with. But sometimes it also fights with allowing yourself to, like, be kind of allowing yourself to feel the emotions. I feel like it's fighting the two of them, where this is like, I just need to put in the work to show up and be brave and be strong, because otherwise it will drown me, versus acha tu ni sink. Like, let me just feel everything and just kind of almost be in the dark.
Yeah. I think there are moments for that. And as a person who's experienced depression before, when I was quite young in high school, I didn't even know I was depressed. I was depressed in high school. I had a depressive episode in high school for like almost a year, and then again in campus. And because I had already seen those patterns in my life, I was determined not to get there. And it's really important to observe yourself. By the way, we have a lot of control of ourselves, more than we think. We were given the power of choice. We have a lot of choice. And one thing we have to learn is we have to give ourselves the tools of success. We've said one of the tools of success is relationship building.
Yes.
You know, we have learning how to communicate, but also learning how to manage yourself. My sister calls it hack yourself.
Period.
You have to learn and to give yourself tools for success. It's okay to feel those emotions. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be unhappy. And sometimes they come as a wave, especially as ladies, like when you're about to, you know, you're just sad for no reason.
Crying.
You know, you just want to cry and stuff. Imagine I would schedule those moments. I would schedule those moments, like not really on my calendar, but like to know, okay, so Tuesday I'm leaving work at 4:30 or 5. This is what I'm going to do. The moment I get home, it's time to break down.
To cry.
So what do you need to do? Put the sad music, whatever you need to do to trigger yourself to release those emotions. Release them.
Bring all the sad songs.
Bring whatever you need to do, journal, think about whatever you need to do. But you need to realize if you give those emotions so much time in your life, they will take over. They will take over. Because I was reading this book, I don't even remember the book, I think it's The Compound Effect, that our brain is wired to protect us. And that's why it doesn't like change, it doesn't like new things, like when change comes, you're scared, etc., etc. So when you start allowing those emotions of sadness or the whatever makes you feel comfortable, which is staying in the dark, if it makes you feel comfortable, remember you're denying yourself the light. If you're staying in the dark, you're denying yourself the light. You have to be the one to try and pull yourself out. And it all starts with what you think, how you think about things. So I would give myself time to break down. And I would not allow myself to break down in the office. I did break down in the office once, to be honest, after getting some tough feedback. It all came crashing down on me. But I said I'm not going to do that again. I would stay home if I need to, call in sick or ask for a mental health day, rarely, but I did. But then after work or after shenanigans, I'd go home and release the emotions that I was feeling and feel those emotions. It doesn't mean, in terms of being positive around fighting your battles, it's not like lying to yourself. that this is not really happening. Life is good. You're not lying to yourself. What you're doing is you're telling yourself, I'm getting through this. Yes, this is happening to me, but I have the strength to get through it. Yes, this is difficult, but how can I solve it? Practically, what can I do? You know, if she needs to go to hospital, if we need medication, or if we need money, how can we navigate this situation with a lot of practicality, but at the same time, feeling those feelings, but give them time. Tears, I've given you 1 hour.
And you're done.
It's time to
go.
get up, and my feelings can catch up later. And it's not putting yourself down. I'm a Cancer. I don't believe in horoscope things, but I'm a Cancer. I'm very emotional. I think through things emotionally a lot of the time. So I've had to teach myself how to think about them differently. Aside from everything is 80% emotional. No. Now probably things are 40% emotional. Now I have to think about things logically. So your crying time. Set up the time to be sad and to be angry if you can. If you can control that, if the activities you can do to get the adrenaline or the emotions out, do it. Not beating people, but go boxing or something. Yeah, don't take your anger out of people. If you fight out on people, if you find that you are lashing out, it's okay to apologize. Hi, I said this to you last week. I'm really sorry. I was going through a lot and I didn't mean to say that to you. Or my tone was off and I'm sorry. I can do better next time. Learn how to communicate with people and just be kind. Just because you're hurting. I know people hurt others. Just because you're hurting doesn't give you an excuse to be mean to people. And it's okay to apologize. Everybody makes a mistake. What else would I say I used to do? So when my mom passed away, I inherited 3 dogs who live with me now, but tomorrow they're going to the farm. Whoop, whoop. So those dogs really helped me because where I was staying, how my balcony is set up or how they stay, it's quite a nice space for them with the laundry area, but the next side is my neighbor's laundry area. So obviously because of the setup, I'm not emotionally okay. I've had to move out quickly because I can't stay in the house where my mom was sick. It just has a lot of memories. So having to move to a different apartment was a lot of change for me. And that was a time for me to fall into depression. But those dogs were actually a blessing because I'd have to wake up, clean for them and feed them. Otherwise, they would cry the whole morning and bark. And my neighbors would complain. So that whole process of going to clean for them and feed them, I had to go into their house, shower, make my bed. And that's how I did not allow myself to wallow in sadness all day. So that routine is what helped me. Yes, I'm in bed. I've cried for 30 minutes, for 1 hour, but now it's time to get up and clean for the dogs because the neighbors will complain. You'll get evicted. Where will you go? So it helped me at the end of the day not fall into like really bad depression. So any way you can get yourself out of bed, make your bed for a start. At least that's a win. Get out of bed, get some sun, drink some water, take in some fresh air, you clear your mind kidogo. Don't just allow those thoughts to sit. This will be forever my life. That's a lie. That will not be forever your life. Was your life like that 5 years ago? No. Then it won't be like that 5 years to come. So that's a lie. So you have to now start cherry picking your thoughts. Oh, thought has come, you're not good enough. Okay, I'm not good enough, but my mom likes me. My dad loves me. My brothers think I'm okay.
Do they?
Yeah, my friends. I have some friends who talk to me. Why do they talk to me? They think I'm good. I'm good for something. I might not be good for everything, but you know what? I'm good for something. So that's not 100% true. Next thought, like that.
Oh, beautiful. So if you were to make a juice of the 3 things you think, okay, this I fully attribute my success to. I already know 2, but I want you to share with us the 3 ingredients.
Prayer, number 1, foundational, 100%, and do it every day without fail. Relationships, honor the people around you. Don't treat people badly because everybody's going through something. So take care of the people around you. Those lower than you, above you, whatever. Knowledge, learn. Learn and be open to learning. I get rid of this ego or this idea of fear of looking stupid. I would rather look stupid in a meeting. Okay, no, I really don't like looking stupid in a meeting. Okay. I'd rather, it's better to approach something with curiosity and ask than stay there then you don't know anything that they're talking about and then you live there the same. You'd rather just, and it's all about how you say it, by the way. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Sorry, team. I just want to get some clarity. What does this really mean? Or what is the outcome of this? Or what is the conversation we're having here? Let's just take a step back because I don't feel that I fully understand what we're discussing. And I'm sure there's someone who will be like, oh, I love educating people. Let me tell you what this is about, so I definitely say knowledge. If you have opportunity to study, if you have the opportunity to learn from others, if you want to ask questions, be curious, ask those questions, etc. Then what else? Just be proactive. Don't be okay with just how things are. It's okay to think outside the box. How can this be done differently? People and employers really appreciate minds like that. Even if you're an entrepreneur, you will appreciate people who are like that, who will come and tell you, I think we can try. I've been proactive and this is what I've done and I think this will be a better approach, or why don't we include this into what you're already doing?
Okay. That's a good juice. Now, let's get to a very, very fun segment.
Okay.
Called Money.
Money, honey. Okay.
Now, I want you to take us first, your first role, the first money you held for your internship. Were you paid? How much was it?
Yeah, no, the internship wasn't paying. It was free.
Okay.
I mean, it was not paying. You're paid by experience.
I have a good cousin who's a bit frustrated with the whole not paid internship. Would you encourage him? How would you encourage him to shift that perspective? Because you did a paid internship, but now an unpaid one. But now you have such a successful career. So how can they think through it differently?
Yeah. Wow, let me try and go back there and see how I was thinking through things. I think that money is important. We can't negate that fact. Money is extremely important. But we also have to weigh the importance of certain things at certain levels of our lives. I think that when you're starting out, you can be very creative and you can allocate different things you're doing for different goals. So for instance, when I was doing the fashion thing, I was doing it, one, because I liked it, but also to get some money. Okay. On the side, I used to do commercials, TV commercials, which I would do for money. But then when it comes to things such as building my skills, remember, I'm new to the industry, to the field. I don't even know what I want to do. Am I really contributing a lot by being here? Because I feel like I'm absorbing more than I'm giving out. So for me at that time, it wasn't, okay, you need to pay me for being here. What am I paying you for being here for? You are learning from us, Yeah. So my perspective was more of, okay, I'm taking more from them than they're getting from me, so I'm okay in that way. Then as you continue to grow, as you continue to learn and upskill yourself, then you can start saying, you know what? I have a lot of insight and knowledge because I have value to offer, right? Because eventually I can't wait for the time when literally my work is to sit and people to ask me, what should we do? Like my role is consultative. You have a lot of experience. How do you think we should approach this? And I give them an answer and I get paid for that simply because I have the experience. And I feel like at that time, money will be important to me. Okay, money is important, but it's all about what can you do what can help you achieve different things. So if you're doing the internship, there's definitely space for you to start a small business on the side to provide the money, even as you're learning from someone else. But you're going for an internship, it's an opportunity for you to learn, and then you have very high expectations about being paid. I don't know. I just want to be realistic with you. I think we need to find a balance there of what's the value I'm giving here? Am I giving more value or am I getting more value? And how can I help meet my other needs in different ways as I build this part? Because sometimes when you're building, you won't get the value out of the building yet. You're still in the process of figuring things out. So until you do, that's when you'll start getting the value. Or you'll start reaping the benefits of what you did. And I don't want to undermine how important money is. You know, we all want to look cute, do our nails, have the best clothes, but there's a time for everything. And I promise you, you will get there. You will get there. Eventually, you'll be like, I'm going to shop in Dubai. Eventually. It's just that now you need to put in the work. And the time to put in the work is when you're young. Because eventually you'll probably, at 29 or 30, you're looking at getting married, having kids, maybe at 34, 30, no rush to anyone, but by the time you're getting there, you don't want your sole focus to be your career. It will be important for sure, but you also want to be able to build the other sides of your life, which is your family. So at the moment when you're young, it's time to build. It's time to give your best. It's time to sweat. It's time... Okay, work-life balance, but it's time to not sleep, okay? You can't be sleeping until 8, 10, 9, and you're saying you want to be CEO. It's not possible. It's time to wake up early. It's time to do the LinkedIn post. It's time to connect with the right people. It's time to sleep late. It's time to burn the midnight oil. And I can assure you, even if you're an intern, even if you are in an entry-level job, even if you don't have the job, the law is if you are diligent, you will be rewarded, period. If you are diligent, there will be a reward for you. It will not, your sweat will not go to waste. Trust. You might not see it next week. It might come in a year, but it will come. That's what you need to know. It will come. So yeah, basically that's what I think about the internship piece. Like for me, it was, what am I really doing here? And eventually, one of the reasons why I resigned was, eventually I felt that, okay, so I've drawn all the value that I need from this role. It's actually not what I want to do, so I can leave. I can go to find the next thing. So it's all about, am I giving more value or am I getting more value? Let's not always be money-minded.
Now, your first role, where you were paid, what's the range? So I'm going to ask you, because currently you're in a senior position. So at the time, the previous role, what was the range? Just to give the young techies an idea of, if I'm exploring this is what it looks like from a financial perspective.
Yeah. So the range was, I'd say, between 80 to 100 for the first entry-level job that I had.
Gross?
Yes, that's gross. And then... after that, when I was promoted a year later, it came with some commission because it was a sales job. So it's like tech sales. It comes with some commission,
And the commission was big?
The commission was your quarterly salary, like 3 months salary combined, plus now the salary of that month. So it's like 4 months salary if you hit 100% of your target.
Okay, that's really good, actually. Then... and this is as an account. Now here you're kind of doing account management sales-ish. Okay, got you. And now if we're thinking big tech, what would that range be for a senior person?
So these big tech companies, they have a framework, and it's a globalized or a very standard framework. They usually pay based on experience, years of experience, and the level that you are in. So it really depends on a lot of things. So it's difficult to give a range for that, to be honest, because everyone is almost very different. Okay, there's a beginning, if like when you're starting out, and if you've been in the company for like 5 years, every year you get a raise, then there's probably a cap. But wow, it's so hard. Maybe It's really hard because I feel like I'll give a big range, like between 200 almost to 800, depending on you join with how many years of experience, you join at what level, and of course the company.
Okay.
So it can be a lot, it can be 200.
And this is now for a role like partnerships.
Yeah.
Would there be a commission for such roles?
It depends on the company.
Okay.
If you are doing any selling or you have any targets, yes, there could be commission.
Okay.
Yeah, but partnerships are available in very different fields, by the way. Even in the development sector, working with governments, in technology, there are so many roles. The basic skills are your communication skills, people management skills, etc., stakeholder management skills, business acumen, etc. Those are what you need. But in terms of the partner management roles, they are quite vast. Yeah.
What would make, I have everything you said, business acumen, communication, excellent. What would make me stand out? Because we have the who.
Yeah.
And what would make me stand out to get a partnership role?
I would say you also need to have understanding of the industry you're in.
Yes,
like if you're in technology and you want to manage relationships in tech, you need to understand tech. If you're in the development sector, you want to manage relationships in the development sector, you need to understand that area as well. So you really need to have some knowledge about on where on the sector you're interested in.
Okay.
What would make you stand out? I think generally who you are makes you stand. I don't know if that's a good answer, but I feel like your attitude, enthusiasm towards work, the knowledge that you have and how you show up, all of that mixed together, like builds this unique person that stands out.
Okay. We were talking before and you mentioned some of the technical skills that you're learning that are important in your role.
Yeah.
Could you share a bit more on that?
So initially when I joined the company I'm now in, I didn't really have some technical skills like data. I mean, previously in the other organization, I would probably run queries and, get reports on how certain campaigns performed. But in my current role, I feel that I've been very stretched in terms of learning how to solve different problems. Problems, yes, that have been solved in other countries, but I mean, as a company is a pioneer of an entire industry. So a lot of people are sort of figuring things out as we go. So you have to really think outside the box. So that paired with now analyzing data. So those are skills I've really, really had to develop. Because initially I was just thinking, if a merchant or a restaurant wants to open a new store, they just go and open a store, good. But now they're asking, I need a heat map. I need to understand where the traffic is. And you're just like, okay, how do I do a heat map? It's so great. Because you thought, look, I'm just here to manage a partnership.
Yeah.
But the reality of the matter is, even in partnership management, while it's not necessarily technical in terms of you coding or anything, or developing apps, you do actually have to have some understanding of certain pieces or certain things that make businesses successful, like data, analytics, building strategies, and
Okay, so you do have technical knowledge with like SQL. You can query data, so you have the technical skills.
Well, I studied, but I can tell you this, I did not enjoy it. I remember learning about Python, and I was just like, what?
Screams.
Apana, apana imezidi. The good thing about some of the global companies is they have analytics teams, so you can reach out to them. Now there's AI, so you just, I need this query, and they help you. So I know how to use AI to query. I think, I think that's good enough, no?
It's fair.
I know how to use AI to query, so I do use that a lot, and also reach out to our analytics team, so yeah.
Okay, I want us to wind up. How how has AI changed your role?
Okay, so how I use AI currently is just to help make my output a little bit more excellent. So, I mean, I have an idea of what I want to do. This is my basic work. This is how I do it. So just getting into AI to see how I can just make it better. Yeah, okay. Refine it or just make it a bit more excellent, or flesh out ideas, or maybe find out where I might be, where are the gaps. Okay. So I use that a lot, but also for the data aspect, querying and stuff like that, I do use that as well.
Right. Now, Cindy, a final word to the young techies. What would be your final word?
If it's hard for you right now, it won't always be like that. Yeah, life has seasons. There are seasons when things are really hard, and there are seasons where things are really good. So you want to use the times when things are good to build and to prepare for the times when things are hard. Whether that is building your emotional strength, building your career and yourself, educating yourself. When you have time to spend time with yourself, when you have time to spend time with others and things are good, make sure to milk that and make sure to make that as strong as possible. And so that when things are hard, you can lean on the goodness of the past, because they won't be hard forever. They'll be hard for a season, but then the future will be better. Yeah. That's not very techy, but it will. I think it will help. Yeah.
Can we give Cindy her flowers, guys? Can we give her flowers?
Oh, literally.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, these are pretty.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
For sharing with us. I didn't think this would impact me as much as it did. I really, really appreciate it.
I'm so glad.
Thank you for honoring the call, for making the time, for being honest and vulnerable, for being the first to speak about God, and you will not be the last. So thank you.
Thank you for having me. This was so fun.
Thank you. This is like our closing tradition.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you so much.